Hey guys, I'm Candice from Crema Coffee Garage, and today I'm going to be demonstrating a pour over. So the pour over is starting to gain some real traction in Australia, largely because it's a light, smooth brew that's still served hot. So let's just check that we've got all of our equipment ready. We've got our dripper stand, our glass decanter, our kettle of pre-boiled water, and then we have our Hario paper filter on top, our coffee grounds, which has been ground for a paper filter. And then lastly, we've got our measuring scales and our timer. So today we're using a fancy scales and iPad system, which are actually linked together. But don't stress, the simple timer on your phone will work just fine. Today for our coffee recipe, we're going to be using 20 grams of coffee to 300 mils of water. And we're going to be using a single origin coffee, which is an Ethiopian Sidamo. So we tend to find that single origin coffees work a lot better with pour overs as opposed to blends. Really just accentuates that singular flavour as opposed to blends, which can sometimes result in a bitterness and just a confusion of flavours. So let's get started. So we're going to start by pouring a little bit of our water to coat the paper filter. So this works in a couple of ways. It helps to get rid of some of those paper filter tastes, but it also helps to stick the filter to your cup, while also, of course, pre-warming your glass decanter at the bottom, but just don't forget to pour out this leftover water, which we're going to do now. So the process includes 3 separate pours over a 2-minute period, and we're going to be working at 30-second intervals. So let's start by pouring our coffee into the paper filter. And just not forgetting to give it a little bit of a shake, just to flatten out those grounds and get really even distribution. So we want to make sure that our scales are tared off to 0. That way we're only measuring the water pour at this point. So our first pour is a 40 ml pour, and this is what we call the bloom. So once we've poured that 40 mils, we're then going to start our timer. So just making sure that you coat the full surface of the grounds and start our timer. So we're going to wait about 30 seconds to give the bloom time to really just allow those natural gases to release. So if you start to see some bubbling, don't be too concerned, that's meant to happen. It just kicks off the extraction and the brew process. So we're approaching our 30 seconds, so we're going to be ready for our second pour. So our second pour is going to bring us up to 180 mils of water. So again, we're going to be working in a circular motion, and we really want to maintain a slow, steady stream so as not to overfill our cup. So we're a little bit over there, but that's okay. Don't get too stressed out on getting the exact number. So now we're going to wait another 30 seconds. This is just allowing the second pour to just drain through the cup and just to give us time so that we don't over pour with our third pour. So we're looking at the 1 minute 30 mark to start our third pour. So the third pour is going to start in the circular motions like before, but then we're going to progress to a slow, steady stream that just runs in the center. So let's start that now. So now we're working up to our 300 ml mark. So as you can see, I've just slowed down to a slow, steady stream in the center. And we're working to hit the 300 ml mark right on our 2-minute time. So we're just going to let that final pour drain to about halfway down the cup. And once it's done that, we want to just swiftly take it off. We just don't want the water to extract through those last little bits of coffee. You'll just tend to taste an over extraction and possibly a little bit of bitterness. So we want to avoid that. Beautiful, nice and quick. Just pop that off to the side and then we're ready to drink. So we like to recommend serving with a bit of a palate cleanser, glass of sparkling water, just so you can really appreciate all the fine flavours of the pour over. Perfect. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments about the pour over extraction, please feel free to leave them below. Go ahead and like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. And remember, if you've got any other questions about the pour over, you'll find a link in the description below. Thanks, guys.